Good evening, everybody. It is Friday night, time for some high school conference football action here in the NIC-10. Apologize for our technical difficulties. We're getting started just here at game time. We'll give you a little bit more information as the game goes on. But Hononegah is kicking away to Belvidere North. Kickoff down to around the 15-yard line, taken in there by number 23 out to the right, down to the 29-yard line. Alongside Luke Weber for this evening, I am Trevor Larson on the call here at Milt Brown Stadium in Belvidere as we watch the Belvidere North Blue Thunder take on the visiting Hononegah Indians. Luke, we'll have you join in here. Give us a quick, brief thoughts on this game while we get started.
Yeah, Belvidere North coming in 6-0 on the season, coming in kind of with their rushing attack, kind of leading their offense. Be interesting tonight to see how Hononegah kind of handles the line of scrimmage and takes, reads this option on their side of the field as well. So that's kind of how we get going here on the first drive.
So 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Belvidere North offense. Number 2 takes a snap. He hands it to the up back, and he's going to get about a yard on the play. That's Maddox Gillenswan at quarterback. A couple more notes on this game as we get started here. I mentioned that Belvidere North is 6-0, Hononegah 5-1, both in the race for the conference championship here in 2022, alongside Boylan, Guilford, and Harlem, the 5 remaining teams that have a shot at taking home the crown this year. 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line for Belvidere North. Gillenswan takes the snap, pitches it out wide to number 23. He's going to be stopped in the backfield by number 44 for Hononegah. The run that time by Eric Roman, and number 44 on the tackle, Cole Gabe. A couple guys on the North offense that we're going to be looking for. Obviously, Maddox Gillenswan, the quarterback. They did lose one of their star players. That is Nico Bertolini, out for the season with that broken clavicle, unfortunately.
Tough break there. He's been averaging about 11 yards a carry for this offense. So kind of be interesting how they replace him and maybe rely on Darius Ford, who's been kind of their other top rusher for the North offense here. Kind of get going on the 3rd down here.
So 3rd and 10, takes the snap. Number 2, Gillenswan's going to get a couple of yards on the carry, maybe 2 yards out to the 32. So it's going to bring up a early 4th and long. Looks like Belvidere North is going to send out the punting unit. Back to return for Hononegah is their playmaker, Isaiah Huey. Saw him last week against Boylan when we were on the call. He had both touchdowns for Hononegah. We'll see if he's going to be the playmaker for tonight. He's an exciting guy out there.
Been entertaining to watch, follow him on the season, looking up his stats, athletic just all over the field, making their plays. And Hononegah here having to take a quick timeout, not being able to get their punt return team on here. So after a great, 3 and out, you come back and have to take a timeout on 4th. Not something you want to do, but you're not trying to give up that penalty here and possibly give it a 4th and short. Let North maybe go for it.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 30, Lyons Buckley, running off the field at the last second. Looks like they had 12 guys on the field. A reminder while we have a break in the action that tonight's game is presented by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Find them online at screwcitycrossfit.com and schedule your visit today. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So, Luke, while we have a break in the action, we talked about a couple of key guys. Hononegah's offense going to come out here. We talked about Isaiah Huey. They got a couple of other really good offensive playmakers. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, so coming out, their quarterback, Warren, is a dual threat for him. He's at over 200 rushing yards on the season and also throwing over for 800 yards with, 13 touchdowns on the season. Victor is a rusher, running back. He's at over 285 yards on the season with about 4 or 5 touchdowns. So balanced attack on the offensive side for Hononegah. Be interesting to see how Belvidere North kind of matches up with those skill players.
So the snap is away, punt is away, and it's going to drop at the 38. Huey backing away from it, and it's going to be down by the Belvidere North Special Teams unit at the 28-yard line. So we'll see the Hononegah offense come out. They had 2 touchdowns last week against a very tough Boylan defense. Ended up dropping that game 13-33. That was Hononegah's first loss of the season. And as Hononegah comes out, we're at Milt Brown Stadium here in Belvidere. It's a very chilly night, going to get into the 30s as the night goes on. It's also senior night, last home game of the season. So we have a great atmosphere despite the weather with a packed crowd. All these students here wearing pink, it looks like, for Belvidere North. So Hononegah's offense out in a pistol formation. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the top. as you can see on the screen, as we are delighted to bring you a video broadcast this evening. And there is going to be a stoppage on the field. Looks like the umpire is signaling a false start on the offense. So not what you want to see on the first play. You'd rather come out. Those penalties on those first plays of the drives, those are always killer. Yeah,
you step back now, 1st and 15. You change your whole kind of game plan here. Now you're trying to, make back those 5 yards on your first play, but also the offensive playbook is a little adjusted there with the early penalty on Hononegah.
So we saw that a few times last week. Hononegah had some procedural issues as well. We'll see if they can clean that up as the game goes on. Takes the snap, hands it off. That is number 34 maybe. A little bit difficult to see the number from where we are, but he's only going to get about, he's going to be dropped for 3 yards on the loss. Connor on the run. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13 at the 25-yard line for Hononegah. Once again, in their pistol formation that we saw them in the entire game. Huey in motion from left to right. That's number 7 at the top of your screen. Now Hononegah, Cole Warren looking towards the sideline for an adjustment. Takes a snap, hands it off once again up the middle. Belvidere North's defensive line is going to bring him down. He's going to get about back to the original line of scrimmage. That is Eston Fitcher on the carry. He was the primary ball handler for Hononegah last week.
First 2 plays defensively, North got to be happy with your interior pressure there, right? Guys are getting off their block. The linemen are making the tackles, not the linebackers, is what you like to see from a defensive side here. Having the ability to have your second line of defense with your backers being able to read and make plays here. But the line's doing their job. That's just going to set up for longer 3rd down here for the Indians.
So shotgun, 4 receivers, 1 to the bottom, 3 to the top. Warren takes a snap. He's going to the left. He's going to find Huey, and a nice play by the Belvidere North defensive back to stop him about 6 yards shy of the first down. So after the 3 and out by the Belvidere North offense, Hononegah responds in kind, and they're going to have to punt the ball away now at their 34-yard line.
Great defensive stop there. Going to get decent field position here. We'll see how the punt goes, obviously, but good turnaround for the North here. So good stops by both defenses here early in the game.
So Hononegah set to punt. 2 returners back for Belvidere North, both at about the 34-yard line. Snap is good, but the punt is mishandled. The snap is mishandled by the punter. He's going to kick the ball, and it's going to bounce around the 40 and going to roll into Belvidere North territory, going out of bounds at around the 43. Looked like there might have been a penalty, but the official did not get it in the back. So great field position for Belvidere North here on their second drive.
One thing I've seen here, this is my getting ready to get the second game here for North that I've been able to call with you this year, is their special teams, man. Those kids are excited, right? They had a kickoff return when we were here against Boylan, and then you get in there. Yes, the punter there, botched the snap, but the interior pressure continued and made him have to get one off even sooner, and now have great position here to start off their second drive.
So it could have been disastrous for Hononegah, but they do get the ball away, and it's about 30 yards on the punt, but still good field position for Belvidere North, lining up in their wing T formation. Number 23 across motion. This time, Gillen Swan's going to take the snap, hand it to the up back for 2 yards on the gain. That is Darius Fort on the carry.
Here's where Belvidere North is going to, test Hononegah all night is, kind of running this methodical option offense is when somebody on the Hononegah defense gets out of position or they're not staying home on their job. That's when North likes to hit you for the big play with one of their running backs to the outside, getting outside that, defensive end, outside linebackers. So good start there for the North, getting 3-4 yards in the first play.
So Gillen Swan back to work. Takes his position under center. Number 85 looking for the correct position on this play. Might have been a little bit of miscommunication in the snap. Motion across the middle. Gillen Swan takes the snap, but he's going to hand it to the outback once again. He's going to gain 7, maybe 6 yards on the gain for it once again on the carry. It's going to bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 2, just inside Hononegah territory. It'll be 3rd and 2 on the 48.
Head of schedule here, right? We got 3rd and short. Great start there, and this is where North is able to get that, Fort, or when Portolini was healthy, outside and make those long runs, keep guys on their toes. So good start here for North on their second possession. 3rd and short coming up.
So everybody in tight on offense and defense. Gillen Swan takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's up the middle. He's going to be down around the 35. Great fake that time. Fake the ball to the outback. Gains 17 yards on the carry. Picks up a first down for Belvidere North, the first of the ball game.
Gillen Swan, what an athlete, right? 2 plays in a row. front back, front back. Then you get, the quarterback holding the keeper there. Exciting play there for the quarterback. This guy's picking him up. He's not the biggest guy in the world out there, but he plays to his position, and his teammates, they love him out there. So that was fun to see, and him having a success act.
So 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line inside Hononegah territory. Gillenswan takes a snap, keeps this ball once again. Good pressure that time by the left side of the defensive line, and he's only going to pick up 2 yards. Might have had a pitch, but good pressure that time by the defensive end to prevent that from going a little bit further to the outside.
Yeah, the read there, for the option is always that outside, either defensive end or linebacker there. Linebacker stayed home, made a great play, limit the damage to, 1 or 2 yards here on first down. So good defensive play there behind Hononegah's front lineman.
So it'll be officially a 1-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9 now on the 34-yard line. Gillenswan takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Fort once again, the up back, and he's going to get down to about the 29-yard line. So 3rd and medium. This looks like, 4-down territory for Belvidere North. We saw them go for it more than a few times when we called the game against Boylan.
Yeah, I think he'll keep the pressure going here, right? I mean, conference championships on the line a little bit tonight as we got 2 more weeks to go. But you go 7-0 to start. You're going to continue to see that success for them. I do believe it'll be 4-down territory for them.
So offense in formation. Gillenswan takes a snap. This time he's going to keep the ball, and he's going to get up around the 24-yard line. They're going to give him enough for another Belvidere North first down, and their running attack is working to perfection here on this drive.
Ford having the success he's had, right? Keeping him on schedule. Now Gillenswan be able to, read that, right? And having Fort kind of run in there, and he's getting hit and bring it back out, and he's, making guys miss on the outside too. So great, possession here. Flip the field now too. So fun stuff for North's offense on the second drive.
Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Number 23 in motion this time. Gillenswan's going to that time. It was a good fake. Tough to see if he had the ball from our perspective, but he's going to hand it off to Fort. Once again, good read by the Hononegah defense to stop him for just a yard on that carry.
Good interior pressure there behind Hononegah's defensive line. When they've had success on their defensive side, has been those front guys getting off their blocks and making, tackles to limit the damage. So they're key tonight, right? Can they get off the blocks? Can they keep the front guy true to what he's supposed to do with Fort? And then, the outside guys go make their plays on Gillenswan or the other running backs, when they get outside the pocket there.
This time taken by Gillenswan. He's going to pitch it out to number 23 to the edge, and he's going to gain 7 yards on the carry. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1, almost a counter pitch play that time, but a nice run that time by Eric Roman, one of the other freshmen here on this Belvidere North offense. Must be replacing Bertolini, so, always good when you can get your freshmen on the varsity squad. Those guys have a chance to be something special, and to show out here on senior night as a true freshman, that's always very impressive.
Getting an opportunity, right? Someone goes down, next guy up is a freshman, and a great start there on a nice carry, ran hard, lowered the shoulder a little bit there, going on to bounds. So good stuff on, second down on the carry.
So we'll see if we call Roman's name a few more times tonight. Gillenswan takes the snap, hands it off to Fort, the up back. This time they're going to give him 2 yards on the carry. They're going to mark him half a yard short. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1/2 of a yard. This is a spot that we've seen pretty much every team in the NIC-10 go for it. Half a yard to go, 4th down inside the red zone. You want to get 6 here as opposed to 3.
Here's where the strategy comes in a little bit for North is you've been running the front dive. Is this where you get Gillenswan on a more of a keeper option play here? It'll be interesting. I think Hononegah is going to blitz here, try to take away that front guy, and then we're going to keep maybe an option side towards the strong side of the field here.
So Gillenswan back under center. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it. No, he's going to. Yes, he is going to hand it to the up back. It's a little tough to see. They're kind of far away from us as we are standing up on the roof. But a nice run that time to pick up the first down. I do want to make a correction. Nico Bertolini is in. Ethan Bartelli is the player that is out for the season with the broken clavicle, not Nico Bertolini. So Bertolini is playing. So our apologies up here. We had some misinformation, but hopefully we do not make that mistake again. Ethan Bartelli out for the season. Nico Bertolini in there, number 17. So Gillenswan back under center on this first down, takes a snap, and he's going to hand it to the up back, and another good interior pressure by the defensive line. Going to gain about 3 yards on the carry, going to bring up a 2nd and 7 here on the 10-yard line.
early on here in the first quarter. Fort's got a lot of action, either with the carrying the ball or, run that fake with him. He's getting hit on every play. So what a tough kid, kind of getting after it here. Again, playing hard here. Good start for both teams. So I think North's going to keep grinding here and try to get something maybe towards the outside here, second down.
And this time, Galen Swan takes a snap. He's going to keep it by himself, and he's going to gain about 8 yards on the carry down to the 2. That's going to be another first down for Belvidere North. It's going to bring up first and goal with 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And, yeah, you mentioned, they're handing the ball off to Fort, and Galen Swan keeping it. Might be by design, as, it's a very chilly night out here. Going to drop into the mid, maybe even lower 30s. So, maybe your hands aren't quite warmed up. Those pitches are always a little bit riskier in the cold weather. As it is, Belvidere North back to the line of scrimmage. Galen Swan getting ready. Offensive lineman go down, takes a snap. This time he's going to keep it once again. Many penalty flags flying out. I wonder if there's going to be a hold, possibly an illegal cut block. We'll see what the officials call here on this play. It's going to be a face mask on the Hononegah defense. So not quite 15, maybe 1.5 yards on the penalty, but it's going to give them another first down, plenty to work with. While we have a break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. We'll get a little bit more ad read as we have a longer stoppage in play in just a moment. So Galen Swan back up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to take the ball, dives inside, and it's going to be a touchdown, Belvidere North. They're going to go up 6-0 with 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Touchdown, Belvidere North. Maddox Galen Swan on the carry. And, Luke, that was a drive that has epitomized the Belvidere North offense all season. Run, run, run. We don't need to throw the ball. We just need to get the ball towards the goal line and punch it in with our rushing attack.
Yeah, what a balance, quarterback Galen Swan with Ford as well, and then you have to rush out there on the outside by 23. But good balanced attack. And like you said, it is, 8 guys on the line. We're going right at you, helmet to helmet, and we're going to keep attacking. And that's something that North's done all season, and another good start here in the first quarter, taking an early lead here.
So there was a penalty that time on the extra point attempt. Looks like there was a false start. Yes, indeed, there was a false start, so going to back them up 5 yards. Of course, we saw Belvidere North's kicker last game. He drilled that 43-yarder to effectively win the ball game. Of course, the defense came up big at the end and got that interception, but this range is certainly within the kicker's oeuvre. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is shifting to the left, and that's going to be no good. So Belvidere North takes the lead 6-0 following the missed extra points. 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. I want to again thank you for joining us here tonight on our inaugural video broadcast of NIC-10 Conference football action. While we have a moment, we want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit, which is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Visit them today at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So after the touchdown drive by Belvidere North, following 3 and outs by both offense, we'll see Hononegah's offense, see if they can get Isaiah Huey, their playmaker, into the mix a little bit more as we get set for the kickoff by Belvidere North. Waiting for the official to spot the ball. And now the special teams unit breaks the huddle, and they get ready to send this ball away. Huey back deep at his 5-yard line. 2 more returners on the right, both standing at the 15. Saw Huey last week, had a couple of nice plays on special teams. We'll see if he can do it once more. So number 33 sending the ball away. From the 40, deep kick this time, down to around the 1-yard line. Great kick. Returned by Huey up to the 10. He's on the right side, out to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. One man, 27, cuts back across the field, and he's going to be dragged down at the 43-yard line. Huge return that time by Isaiah Huey. Give him 54 yards on the return. Sets Hononegah up inside Belvidere North territory.
Gotta love the quick swing of momentum, right? We got a touchdown by North with a missed extra point, a kickoff. Hononegah with a great return there, great blocks ahead of Huey there. And then he gets down, and now we're inside, on the other side of the field. You flip the field, here's where you're coming back on drive 2, hoping to respond, but you've kind of set the tone here with the excitement on your side of the field.
So we'll see what Hononegah does here on this second drive. Of course, they were stopped 3 and out last time they were out on offense. Warren in the shotgun snap, one motion man across the left. Warren rolls to his right at the 50, throws it, and that's going to be knocked down by number 27 for Belvidere North. That's Nicholas Winters. A nice play towards the far sideline to force an incompletion.
Second down, 2nd and 10.
So Hononegah not quite huddling up. They had a couple of guys close to each other, but not the full traditional huddle, as we see some teams do, but in the NIC-10, a lot of teams do run that kind of truncated huddle. It's time 4 receivers, 3 to the left. Number 1 coming in motion across. He's going to pitch it out to him. That is Charlie Lambert on the carry. He's going to gain around 5 yards on the second down play. He's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 on the 37-yard line.
Great play there. Got out in space, running hard, downhill there, creating contact, keeping things going here. Back on schedule for the Indians here with 3rd and 5. Kind of can have the playbooks a little more open here with this 3rd down opportunity.
Just about 1 minute left to go here in the first quarter of football on our inaugural video broadcast here on Clutch Sports Media. So delighted to have you with us here this evening. Offense back out in the shotgun for Warren. Takes the snap. He's going to keep the ball, fake the handoff to number 24. He's going to pick up 2.5 yards on the carry. So 4th and 2. We'll see what Hononegah does here on this 4th down.
Yeah, here's where the spacing comes out here. Can you run something in the middle, get your quarterback, kind of roll out, give him the option there. Wouldn't be surprised to see that, kind of roll out towards Huey side, and come and have that ability to maybe, the pass. And like I said, Warren's, been carrying for them as well. So different options here for the Indians.
Fans making plenty of noise here on this 4th down as they want to see their Blue Thunder defense get a stop. Warren in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to roll to the left. A nice route to the outside. That is number 17 on the carry. They're going to give him 5 yards on the grab, and that's going to give a 1st down. That is Braden Berg on the reception. We called his name a few times last week, but a nice play design, as you said. Roll out a little bit to the left, a good wiggle route, and enough to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, great route there by the receiver, getting deep enough to get the 1st down. And then a good roll out there and having that one-on-one match up there, and a great play call and great execution there by Hononegah to keep the drive alive.
This is Huey in motion. Warren's going to hand the ball off to him. Huey out to the right sideline, and he's going to take it for 10 yards. A nice move, in-cut, out-cut, beat the defender, and able to pick up the full 10 yards, and they are going to give him enough for a 1st down. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. A lot of run plays by both offenses. We've had some exciting plays here and there. A good return on this drive by Huey. Touchdown by Belvidere North on that last drive. So 6-0 here as we move into the second quarter. While we have a brief moment of a brief pause in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Visit them online at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So, not the highest scoring offensive first quarter that we've seen this season, Luke, but a pretty exciting one nonetheless. Senior night, of course. Let's see what Hononegah can do, as they are going to be in good field position to pick up a touchdown, possibly tie this game here.
No, when you play Belvidere North, you better take your opportunities when you have the football to, put points on the board. Because when they're on that rushing attack, if they're keeping their drives alive, they're chewing off 5-6 minutes there. And that's kind of what North did on their second drive was, 4 or 5 yards a pop. Had a maybe 17-yard carry there by Gillenswan. So heading some big plays, but really they're just lining up going helmet to helmet. So Hononegah here with a great chance to get back into the game and get a score. But they need to take care of their opportunities when they have the ball for sure.
Yeah, and they are in good position here to tie this ball game up. And as you mentioned, Belvidere North's offense, I think we saw one pass attempt last time that we were on the call for them against Boylan. So, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for their offense, but you got to make the most of what you can do on offense as the opposing team, because you're not going to have a whole lot of clock. So Hononegah back out in the shotgun. Warren takes the snap. He is going to hand it off this time. I believe that is number 17 on the carry, Braden Berg. Correction, that is number 24. Excuse me, that's Luke Poppy. Called his name a few times last week. Only about 1.5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 8 on the 17. Excuse me. Yes, on the 17-yard line. Hononegah making some substitutions on offense. Belvidere North's defense staying out there. We saw quite a bit of rotation by their defensive line last week. We'll see what they do as the game moves on. 4 receivers this time, 1 on the near side, 3 to the far. Warren takes a snap. He's going to fake it to the running back. A nice option fake that time. He's going to pick up around 4 yards, maybe 5 yards on the carry. Set him up for a 3rd and 4. Very manageable third down play.
Third down
here.
Manageable, like you said, too. But good open field tackle there by the North linebacker. Those one-on-one matchups, right, in an open field are the ones that are the successes for both teams. Even though the guy, Warren got a nice carry there to set them up for 3rd and manageable, the open field tackle keeps them out of the end zone. It keeps them out of a first down. So kind of both teams, maybe a little excitement on both sides of the field for a play there.
Likely to see another 4-down territory here for the Hononegah offense as Warren is in the pistol. Huey comes across. Warren rolling to the right, looking for the comeback, and that ball is almost intercepted, but a nice knockdown by number 5, Gabriel Lang. He's the linebacker that we saw pick off that pass against Boylan to seal the victory for Belvidere North just a few weeks ago. And it looks like Hononegah is going to bring out their special teams unit, go for the field goal, bring them within 3.
Nothing more exciting than a high school field goal attempt. I love the way these kids. I'm not super old by no means, but I can tell you this much: we wouldn't have tried this when I was in high school. So to see the growth of the game has been great in the last 5-10 years here.
That is Zach Luker on the kick. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. Snuck just inside the left upright. So Hononegah maybe not able to capture the most of their great field position following that return, but they do get points on the board. You hear coaches talk all the time. You always want to end your drive on a kick, whether that's a punt, field goal, or extra point. And anytime you can put up points against a very staunch Belvidere North defense, you'll take it for sure.
No, good drive there for Hononegah, getting their skilled guys out in the open a little bit, keeping the drive alive for them on the 4th down there. Then the first quarter, and then we flip the field. So, but I think both teams are going to be happy, right? Get down in the red zone. North limits them to a field goal. Hononegah's on the score. We're back to 6-3 here, so it'll be interesting to see how that extra point may hold through here as the game gets going. But exciting game here for both teams and battling here for tie at the top, or North kind of keeping that lead with everybody behind them here tonight.
Yeah, so we'll see what Hononegah can do on defense to respond. That Belvidere North had quite the lengthy drive last time, and that offensive drive was not the longest. There was a break in between the quarters, but anytime you come back after a long drive by the opposing offense, you might start off a little bit tired, a little bit demoralized, but that's when you're really looking for one of your guys on the line, maybe in the linebackers, especially against an offense like this, to make a big-time play, maybe a tackle for loss, punch the ball out. We'll see what they can do. Kick is away from Hononegah, skips at the 35, and it is going to roll out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. So that is going to be a penalty. Ball will start around the 40, depending on what the coaches decide. We saw this last week when Boylan decided for a re-kick. We'll see where the ball is spotted. I believe it is going to be at the 40-yard line. Waiting on the official spot from the official. So another mistake that time by Hononegah. We've seen 35-yard line. We've seen a couple of those mistakes here by Hononegah early. The false start on the opening play of the game and then a kickoff out of bounds. So they got to clean that up if they're going to keep pace with Belvidere North. Gillenswan back under center. He's going to take the ball, hand it off to the up-back once again. This time stopped. Great play by the interior defensive line to stop him for 0 yards. That's Darius Fort for 0 yards on the carry.
Here's the play, if I'm Hononegah, where I need to figure out on 2nd down. Am I selling out with my linebackers, trying to keep that front back from really trying to make this 3rd and manageable, right? Or am I kind of setting up where, trying to keep it 3rd and short here? But I think Hononegah here could possibly kind of bring their backers to try to limit and make North have a 3rd and long.
This time a receiver down to the bottom of the screen here. Gillenswan takes a snap once again, hands it off up the middle. That's going to be Darius Fort, I believe, once again. Maybe 3 yards on the carry, so 3rd and 7. A tough down and distance for Belvidere North here.
This is where Hononegah's got to go off the field, right? This is where, with North sticking to their option. I would, not want to bet my house because I don't have anything else to bet, but I would say here that a run play is coming, and I think this is where, a penalty gets you up. Don't want to give North a first down with a penalty, but got to make a tackle here and get your offensive ball back.
So everybody tight for the Belvidere North offense. 2 tight ends on either side of the formation. Number 23 in motion. Gillenswan going back to pass. And number 17 with a great catch on the near sideline. Hauls it in around the 38-yard line. That's Nico Bertolini for the big-time play. And Luke, we mentioned that the Belvidere North offense really likes to run. They don't like to pass, but that time breaking out something from deep in their playbook, picking up a big-time first down to bring them inside Hononegah territory.
There's nothing more than I love this season than when I'm wrong. And I was 100% wrong there. What a play, what a pass. Really flipped the field here. That was, exciting stuff when you don't expect it. So great play by North. Great call there.
Gillenswan takes a snap this time. He's going to keep it himself and going to gain around 2 yards on the first down carry. Crowd booing, not quite sure why. But 2 yards on that carry is going to bring up 2nd and 8 inside Hononegah territory on the 34-yard line. Offense back out. Gillenswan under center. 1 receiver to the top. That's number 4. Offensive line getting ready for the snap. Takes the snap. He's going to quick handoff to number 17. Flag in the backfield. Number 17 out to the far sideline down to the 20. We'll see what the flag is. Looks like maybe a hold on this play. It was Nico Bertolini on the carry, but I do believe this one is coming back. Offensive line already walking back towards the original line of scrimmage. Looks like it's going to be an illegal chop block as opposed to a hold. So that is a 10-yard penalty, I believe. It's going to bring them all the way back to the 50-yard line this time. So after that penalty, Luke, this is really, you never like to see those penalties after a big play like we just saw a few moments ago. But Belvidere North has to get something big on this play to make up for that lost yardage on the penalty and get them back at least around the original line of scrimmage. Otherwise, they're really going to be forced into a tough 3rd and long. Gillenswan back under center, 17 in motion once again. Gillenswan rolling out to the left. Same play we saw last time, 85 wide open, down around the 22-yard line. He's going to haul it in just around the first down marker, and I believe they're going to give him enough yardage for a first down. So we have not seen too many passes from them, but already 2 passes this game as opposed to 1 last time when they played Boylan. Both times, big plays, both times first downs.
No, great play call there. Again, 2nd and mile there, right? And you're expecting them to come out, try to chip away, like I said, get close, try to punt Hononegah deep on their end of the field. But what a great play call. What a great pass. Hit him in stride. I mean, fun stuff here on this drive for Belvidere North.
So same play once again. Gillenswan takes the snap, hands it to the motion man. That's Bertolini, 17, out to the 15-yard line. Nice run that time, out to the 14-yard line. 13-yard line is going to be a 2nd and 3 inside the red zone. So we've seen a couple of pass plays. It looks like Belvidere North has identified something with Hononegah's defense. Obviously Belvidere North is a very run-heavy team. But on film, they must have seen that because that's the 2nd time they've run that play, 2nd time they've had a guy wide open down the sideline. Belvidere North huddling up this time, breaks the snap on the 14. Far hash mark from our perspective, moving right to left, as you can see on the broadcast here this evening. Gillenswan under center. Another motion man this time. He's going to hand it to the up back. Nice run that time. Going to gain around 5 yards on the carry. That's Darius Fort. And another Belvidere North first down.
With those completing those 2 passes now, the corners and safeties have to stay home, right? Now you're able to go back to that fullback dive type look, that stretch play there to Bordolino. So, again, you open that playbook up, and now you're trying to keep that defense more honest instead of being able to just set up there with, 8, 9 guys in the box. So North throwing some wrinkles in here has opened up their own playbook, and they got a great drive here coming off the Hononegah field goal.
Looked like there was some motion by Bertolino that time, but he resets to his original position. Gillenswan takes the snap, and he is going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it that time. Looked like he handed it off to Fort, but he kept that ball. He got a couple of yards on the play. 2nd and goal here on the 6-yard line. Gillen Swan looking over to the sideline, getting the play in from his coaches. Seen some exotic passes from them here on this first half. We'll see what they have as they are knocking on the door to getting 6 more points here in the second quarter. Offensive line gets ready. Number 17 in motion. Gillen Swan is going to pitch it out to the up back. That's number 23. He's going to be in for the touchdown. Eric Roman on the touchdown. Once again, his 2nd of the night for the freshman. Another nice drive by Belvidere North to get 6, and they are going to go up 12-3 pending the extra point.
What a response there, right? We go throw in 2 passes. Porcelino gets on the outside on a big carry there as well. North coming out tonight, throwing different things at Hononegah. How's that defense going to respond here as the game continues? And now all of a sudden the pressure is really back on Hononegah to not only continue to have long drives, but now you got to find a way to find the end zone with North coming out and putting up another touchdown here.
Like a bit of a personnel issue on the extra point, but they did run 1 man on, and the kick is up, and it is good for Belvidere North. Missed the first, made the second. That's going to give Belvidere North a 10-point lead, 13-3 here in the second quarter. 6.5 minutes to go. As we have a break in our action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit, Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Visit them online at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So we've seen a couple of back-to-back touchdown drives by Belvidere North. Luke, what can Hononegah do now to kind of get them back in this ball game, maybe punch it in for 6 here as opposed to settling for another field goal?
I would continue again. Hopefully you see how this kickoff goes, right? You got your best player back there trying to make a play for you. But, again, I would continue to get their skill guys out in spacing. I think that's where North maybe limited out a little bit on the defensive side is if their interior is great, their linebackers are great. I would like to see Hononegah kind of get out and kind of go at those corners and safeties a little bit, maybe in the passing game, but also in the rushing game, kind of with the more spread, an option look maybe, something like that. So I think Hononegah's got a great chance here to kind of respond after they're great, got a field goal at their last drive, had successes on their end. So big stuff here, and let's see if North can continue their momentum and maybe come out and get a big stop here.
Jefferson over Freeport, 24-20.
So Huey back deep at around his 5-yard line. Kick is away from the 40. This time popped up, and it's going to be received at about the 36-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the carry, so that time keeping it away from the explosive playmaker. And, I noticed that a few times, Luke, whenever you have a kicker with a big leg, it's always good, but sometimes in high school you can outkick your coverage on those long kickoff attempts.
Absolutely. I think the one return that they had, put them in position to have success. I think North's coaches were like, hey, we're not doing that again, right? So I think smart play there, kick it up. Avoid the big plays too, right? It may be starting at the 39, but the crowd is not into it right now. It's just a first down to start the drive off here. So North kind of playing that mind game a little bit, trying to keep the ball out of their best player.
Yeah, that old Devin Hester defense, as so many teams did against the Bears back in the day. Warren back out in the shotgun. Huey in motion across the line of scrimmage. Warren this time going to fake the snap. Warren out to the right side, 50, 45, 40. One man chasing. That's number 13. He's not going to get him. Touchdown, Cole Warren. A great response that time by Hononegah as he's going to take it 45 yards for the touchdown. 13-9, extra point pending.
What a great counter option there, right? We talked about going in the drive as getting their best player out, and Huey was in the option play there. So the defense all kind of shifts towards him, works through him. Warren with a great read there, and then again, one tackle, one guy to miss, and he made a miss, and what a play there. Great response. All momentum kind of falls back on the Hononegah side here, pending the extra point, but, what a great response there, and then exciting game tonight so far, just in the second quarter.
Yeah, I do want to make a correction. That was about 65 yards. I said 45 initially, but that is incorrect. The extra point is up, and it is good. And, Luke, you mentioned it a few times as we've been discussing this game. Cole Warren, a true blue dual-threat quarterback. We saw that time. He had great speed, able to outrun every defensive back on the Belvidere North sideline. So a quick strike by the Hononegah Indian offense. They go one play. Touchdown, Cole Warren, 65 yards on the carry. And now if you're Hononegah's defense, you're within 3, but Belvidere North had a long, sustained drive last time. They might be a little tired. Again, we've mentioned it a few times, but it is very chilly, unseasonably so, getting close to around freezing here as we approach the second half of football. But, some of these guys might be playing on the back foot on this drive, a little bit, tired. I think that might manifest itself here on this drive, and especially going forward as we approach the later parts of the game.
No, somebody on the Hononegah defensive side is going to have to step up. That linebacker, the defensive lineman, make a big play for them, because North, like I said, they've thrown a couple wrinkles in with a couple pass plays, but they're going to line up again, helmet to helmet, and they're just going to keep attacking, north-south here. So Hononegah's got to make a little bit of adjustment with how they're going to play their backers, and then having that corner safety, staying home a little bit more. But the adjustments the coaches are going to make here as we get going through this game here. But fun back and forth here in the second quarter, that's for sure.
So kick is away. That is returned by number 23 at about the 10-yard line. He's cutting upfield out to the 20, 25. He's going to be dragged down around the 25-yard line. Eric Roman on the return. So a good kickoff and good coverage that time by the Indian Special Teams unit. The Belvidere North Blue Thunder will have the ball at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, with just a little bit more than halfway to go here in the second quarter. It's been an exciting game so far. Again, our first video broadcast of the season of Clutch Sports Media up in the Rockford area, so we're delighted to have everybody with us here this evening. Gillenswan back under center, motion man on the top. This time he's going to hand the ball off to the up back once again. Forward progress is going to be given. They're going to give him a maybe about to the original line of scrimmage. Darius Fort once again on the carry.
Again, good start there by Hononegah. Limit to no gain. Here's again, second down. Second down has kind of made the drives here, right? The first drive of the game, Hononegah had a quick 2 stops. It was 3rd and long to get off the field with the punt. In the last 2 drives, they've given up big plays on second down with the pass game, even off a penalty. So here's a big play here for Hononegah's defense.
One receiver down this time, a little bit of a motion on the top. This time, Gillenswan takes a snap, pitches it out to Bertolino. He's going to gain 8 yards on the carry. Nice play that time by the North offense.
Yep, good option. Great pitch there. Bertolini gets on the outside. It's one-on-one. He made the guy miss. Could have been a gain of 2. Ends up being a gain of 6, and now we got 3rd and manageable here for North. And again, keeping the ball on the ground, keeping the clock. He runs out of bounds there, clock stop. But having a 3rd down here, they don't have to change their game plan on this 3rd down.
So they gave him about 6 on the play. I thought they might have given him a few extra yards. Of course, that is the far sideline. A little difficult to tell where he goes out of bounds. 3rd and 4 on the 33. Gillenswan takes a snap, hands it. No, he's going to pitch it to the outside. That is number 33 on the pitch. He's going to carry it for maybe a yard on the carry. Eric Roman, I've called his name a few times tonight. But it's going to bring up a 4th and 4 after a nice play by the Hononegah defense.
Good pursuit there on the outside. Great one-on-one tackle. Now we have a 4th. Looks like North's going to send the punt team out here. Great response after a quick touchdown. You love to get the ball back. Here again, got to be smart. North got a couple offside penalties a couple weeks ago, so your front linemen need to stay home. But good stop there by the Hononegah defense.
Yeah, 5-yard penalty would be killer if you're Hononegah here. But the punt is clean. It is away. Huey back, returns it at the 39-yard line, makes one man miss, cuts it upfield. He's going to be out to the 50-yard line. A flag down at the 47, however. We'll see if there is a hold on the play. That's what it looked like to me from up here. Wait for the official's call.
13, Chandler Worley there with the tackle.
Chandler Worley on the tackle that time, number 13 for Belvidere North. Officials discussing. Looks like it is going to be a holding penalty. Yes, a holding penalty, or maybe a block in the back, rather, on Hononegah. So that's going to set them back another 10 yards. But it's still going to be 1st and 10 for Hononegah at around the 33-yard line. So set up this time. We'll see what they can do after the quick strike last time out.
Quick strike, you had the option play there with Warren. Here's where Belvidere North's defense has to, again, stay home, stay honest with the fakes and everything else, and have that opportunity to make a play, on their back end of the defensive side is something that they got to step up. The backers and the safeties got to come on and make those tackles. But interesting to see here how Hononegah handles this good field position and kind of what they're going to do here coming out on this drive.
So Hononegah huddling up. They were about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. I wonder if they thought they had an extra 5 yards on that penalty. must have been 10. They might have been thinking 15. Anyways, they are back to the line of scrimmage. Everybody in tight this time, 4 receivers. Warren takes the snap. A little bit of a misdirection. Probably, actually, it looks like a broken play that time. Might have been looking for his running back. Some miscommunication that time. That's going to be a loss of 4 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 13. Another mistake early on the drive for Hononegah.
Yeah, setting themselves back. Now you're off schedule. Here's where North, again, can kind of, set their tone too, as maybe they kind of bring maybe an extra guy here on 2nd and long to try to continue the run. It'd be, North coming up front here with the box. Hononegah is going to keep their spacing here and see maybe Warren again kind of maybe will roll out towards their sideline, try to get their guy in a one-on-one move out there.
So Belvidere North student section making plenty of noise here on senior night. Warren back in the shotgun. Number 1 comes across center. And number 38 with the reception around the 40-yard line. Nice play to stay on his feet. He's going to cut it upfield and be pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. I believe that is Quentin Morehouse on the reception. Coach is pining for a flag that time. Looked like there might have been some forward motion on the snap, but officials did not call it, and a nice 2nd down play for Hononegah to pick up chunk yardage and give them a 1st down inside Belvidere North territory.
Great delay there by the running back coming out of the backfield. The receivers were getting their routes in. He kind of snuck out behind the defensive line there. So good play call. Yeah,
Warren takes a snap, hands it off this time to number 24. That's Luke Poppy. He's going to gain 8 yards on the carry, so a good run on 1st down. Going to be 2nd and 2 on the 37-yard line for Hononegah. Moving very quickly, getting to the line of scrimmage. They might have had a couple of plays called, but everybody tight once again. Same formation this time as it was last play. Warren takes the snap. He's going to hand it off once again to Poppy on the carry. He's going to get enough for the 1st down, maybe an extra yard that time. 3 yards on the carry. Going to bring up 1st down once again for Hononegah on the 34-yard line.
Kind of look out on the field there. Huey's not, looks like he's not on the field there, so hopefully he's not injured. Maybe just taking a quick break here. He does play both ways, obviously, and then having been on the special teams as well. So hoping nothing major there. He's able to return for Hononegah.
So Warren takes a snap, rolling out to the left, moving the pocket, looking downfield for somebody, and he is going to be forced to throw the ball out of bounds. We do have a flag around the original line of scrimmage. That play did take quite a bit to develop. We'll see if there's an illegal man down screen, and we'll wait for the official's call. Official walking towards the Belvidere North sideline, waiting to get a decision on the penalty from the Belvidere North coach. And as you mentioned, Huey now making his return back to the field, so he must have been taking a break. He is one of the key guys for the Hononegah offense, a very explosive playmaker for the Indians. And they are going to call an illegal man downfield on Hononegah. From my perspective, it looked like he was at the line of scrimmage. I do know that play did take quite a bit to develop, but I'm not so sure about that penalty.
No, extended play there. I would agree with you. I don't think he was downfield. Not a fan of the call, but here's where Hononegah has a chance. Still 1st down, respond, try to get that back and a little bit more here with their spacing out there. So, but like I said, long play, linemen kind of get a little disjointed up front there. So 1st and long here.
So Warren takes a snap, looking to Huey out to the left, and that ball is going to be thrown just a little bit in front of him, and it's going to fall incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 15. We are just past 3 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. 2 minutes, 42 seconds, as Hononegah leads Belvidere North leads Hononegah 13-10 here in Week 7 of the NIC-10 season. We are watching the 6-0 undefeated Belvidere North face off against the 5-1 Hononegah Indians in a very crucial matchup in the NIC-10. Warren takes a snap in shotgun. QB draw this time. He's going to take it upfield, gain about a yard on the play that time. He's going to bring up a 3rd and very long at the 38-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him at around the 37, rather. So tough situation here if you're Hononegah.
Great initial pursuit by the defensive ends there, kind of sped up that draw play there, and then the lineman staying home, making a great tackle to kind of, again, 3rd and long here. Interesting to see, getting their skill guy, Huey, in a one-on-one spot in the slot there.
So Warren takes a snap. Great pressure by 54, and he's going to bring him down from behind. That is Marshall Smith on the sack. A busted coverage, or excuse me, a busted line there that time. Looked like number 54 came off the line of scrimmage pretty much unimpeded, got the sack, and it's going to bring up 4th down, and Hononegah is going to be forced to punt this ball away.
Great stop there by the North defense, right? Here's where Hononegah could have had kind of some back-to-back successes, right? They had a possession to end the quarter, maybe get some points there and then start the ball at the second half. But North getting a great stop. With 2 minutes left on the clock here, kind of maybe get some points themselves here. So back and forth game here to end the half.
And so Belvidere North stopping the clock. They want as much time as they can to go down and possibly extend this lead before halftime. Again, 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. Belvidere North currently leads Hononegah 13-10 here at Milt Brown Stadium in Belvidere. While we have a break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Visit them online at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So as we approach 2 minutes to go here in the second half, we've had a fairly exciting second quarter here, Luke. You know, there is still 2 minutes left to go. We've seen Belvidere North hit a couple of big plays. We'll see if they can do that here on this drive after the punt.
Yeah, you'd love to go in the half with momentum, right? Either just pushing the ball down the field, get through the quarter, or adding a big strike and kind of then setting yourself up to have success with getting some type of points. Their kicker has a great leg, right? So we get maybe another field goal out there, but here's where Hononegah can kind of pin them back and kind of set the tone for the next possession.
Zach Luker, the punter and kicker, we saw him hit a field goal earlier in this game. This is his second punt of the night. 2 Belvidere North players around the 25-yard line, not very deep. Waiting for the snap. Snap is away, handles this one. Ball is kicked, and it's going to hit the 11-yard line. Hononegah racing down to try to prevent the touchback, but it is going to roll into the end zone, and Belvidere North going to have good field position at the 25-yard line.
2 timeouts here on both sides. You know, quick stop here by Hononegah on first down, you know, limiting, you know, to no gain or short gain. Maybe they take a timeout, try to get the ball back. North, again, I think depending on how this first or second down go, we'll kind of pick on when they want to take their timeout. So kind of strategy here, a little cat and mouse game to end the quarter here for both teams.
I want to make a correction. The ball is at the 20 as opposed to the 25. High school does still use the 20-yard line as the touchback line on punts. First down carry. Belvidere North going to be looking to go quickly, try to get down and get some points tacked on before halftime. The Blue Thunder offense quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Gillen Swan getting set under center. Linemen go down to their 4-point stance. Takes a snap once again. He's going to keep it once more, and he is going to, excuse me, that time he did hand it. No, yes, Gillen Swan did carry. It looked like it was the up back, but Gillen Swan did take that one, and it is going to be around 2 yards on the carry. And now Hononegah is going to take a timeout here, possibly thinking about getting the ball back before halftime, see if they can get some points on the board.
I like that. You know, you have the chance to get the ball back and have success with your team going into halftime, especially on the offensive side where they've kind of put themselves, you know, other than the quick strike, and, you know, they kind of hurt themselves starting off on first down with 2 penalties on the 2 other 4 drives, having that a chance to kind of keep the momentum going and then having the ball to start the third quarter. So I like the timeout there, and now we got to get a, you know, big stop here, get a punt and get your, you know, Huey out in space and see what happens. So we'll be interested to see North, you know, rushing attack here, kind of keeping things in front. So good stuff here on both sides.
Yeah, and we'll see. You know, there's really not too much risk if you're Hononegah. You know, we have seen a couple of big plays from Belvidere North, but they're a much more methodical offense. They like to get their 4, 5, 6-yard carries. So even if they do get a first down here, you know, they have 2 timeouts, but it's still a long field to go in order to be in position to get some points. So I think it's a smart decision there by Hononegah's coaching staff. So Gillen Swan back under center at around the 28-yard line, takes the snap. This time he's going to fake the handoff to the up-back. He's going to be stopped in the backfield for no gain. So it looks like a smart move indeed by Hononegah, and I do believe that they are going to take their 3rd time out of the half to let Belvidere North think about if they want to punt this ball away or if they want to try for the 2 yards close to their own end zone. While we have a break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Visit them online at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So, Luke, it's 4th and about 1.5 potentially. If you're Belvidere North, you know, Hononegah has looked much better on their last offensive drives. If you're the Blue Thunder, do you try to go for it here and maybe have the opportunity to score some points, or do you punt the ball away and avoid any risk at all of giving Hononegah great field position here before the half?
I ideally would punt it, to be honest, but I also could see North lining up here and trying to get Hononegah maybe to jump off sides and maybe taking a penalty, kind of seeing what happens here. But when you're 6-0 and you're lining up to try to win conference, here's the punt team, so they kind of answered my question anyway. But I could have seen them kind of going for it, but I like the punt here just with no timeouts. Trust your defense, which has played a great first half, to end the quarter and get you to halftime.
And no timeouts left for Hononegah, so their defense will have an opportunity to step up big. Punt is away. Good pressure that time by the Indian special teams. Huey is going to let this one go, and it's going to be down at around the 40-yard line with 1:06 to go for Hononegah. No timeouts left as Belvidere North currently leads Hononegah 13-10 here at Milt Brown Stadium in Belvidere. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us here this evening on the initial broadcast for Clutch Sports Media here in the Rockford area. Of course, if you want to see some pictures and some game highlights, make sure to follow at Clutch Sports Media 815 across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. So Hononegah's offense back to work. Warren coming out in shotgun with 4 receivers. Huey in the slot up top near the far hash. Number 1 coming across in motion. Interesting snap. Almost hit number 1. Warren rolling out to the left, looking downfield. He's got 2 men down there, 3 men, but it's going to fall in the middle of all 3 of them. Not quite sure who his target was at that time, but it's going to fall incomplete and bring up 2nd down with a minute left to go. And Luke, if you're Hononegah, you want to avoid having too many incompletions here on this drive. Give Belvidere North the ball back. Still 2 timeouts. You got plenty of time, if you have a couple more incompletions here. Absolutely.
Could be a quick possession. On north side of the field, too, you want to keep everybody in bounds, right? With no timeouts, you don't want to let their guys, pick up 7-8 yards and then stop the clock on top of it. 7-8 yards doesn't kill you. Keep the guy in bounds, have that clock keep running, and get out of here at the half up 13-10.
So Warren takes a snap, rolls out to the left this time. Once again, 21 on the pressure, and that ball is going to sail too far downfield. Looks like Huey was working towards the sideline. Warren was looking for him to come open over the top in the middle of the field. A little bit of miscommunication there between receiver and quarterback. So another incompletion is going to bring up 3rd and 10. Bit of a risky play here for Hononegah. Might see them keep the ball on the ground, but we'll see what the Indian offensive coaches want to do here on this 3rd and long on the 40-yard line inside their own territory. Crowd starting to make a bunch of noise here. Again, we are here at senior night. House is packed on both sidelines. Hononegah and Belvidere North, the student section, turned out very nice here this evening. So Warren does take the snap. He is going to keep it. He's going to get about 6 yards on the carry. Number 54 on the tackle, that is Marshall Smith once again. He had the big sack on the last drive. And yes, indeed, looks like Belvidere North will call their 2nd timeout of the half. They want to give their offense one more opportunity to potentially have a couple of big plays go down and score before halftime.
No, good timeout there by North. I think Honey's going to run their punt team out, which I believe is a smart thing to do there as well. This time I would put a guy back just because, again, like you talked about earlier, kickers at the high school level can kind of out-kick, their special teams guys. I like to see my guy get out in space and try to make a play here with limited time here, even with the timeout. But just kind of what they are offensively, a huge gain here gives them that chance to possibly get in field goal range. So I think the punt is a huge return for them.
Yeah, we've seen Bertolino here this evening. He has returned a couple of kicks. He's been the running back on some of the big plays to the outside. Belvidere North does have those 2 big passing plays, but I'd expect to see him back returning this punt. And as we mentioned, you got to make sure you don't outkick your coverage if you are Hononegah. Belvidere North just does have 1 timeout. They're showing 2 on the scoreboard, but I believe they only have the 1 timeout left here in the first half, as there is 40 seconds left to go prior to this punt here. As Zach Luker is back at his 31-yard line, set to kick this ball away. 1 return man back, that is Bertolino at the 40-yard line. Snap is good, punt is good. This is going to go way beyond the return man drop at the 25-yard line. It is going to be downed around the 25. So maybe a bit of a mistake that time for Belvidere North, as they did not have a man back to return that ball. And Belvidere North is going to face a long field if they want to try to get some points before half at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Blue Thunder. So it does look like North is going to kneel this ball and take their lead into halftime. I think this is a smart decision for them. You know, you're a run-heavy offense. You don't want to try too much exotic here at this stage of the game when you have a lead going into half. So the clock is running under 20 seconds. I do believe the play clock in high school is 40 seconds, so that is going to be the last play of the half here in this exciting matchup, as we are currently watching the Belvidere North Blue Thunder lead 13-10 over the Hononegah Indians. So, Luke, a good first half of football. You know, it got off to a bit of a slow start, as you can expect, on a very chilly evening here up in Belvidere on Clutch Sports Media's first ever broadcast in the Rockford area. As it stands, it is 13-10 at half. And what did you like out of both sides here in this very crucial game in the NIC-10?
On both teams, I like that it's been pretty much a clean game, right? I think we've had, you know, maybe 3-4 penalties at the most. No turnovers yet. Both sides have had 3 and outs. Both sides have had long drives that have led to points. Obviously, Hononegah was a field goal on their possession. And then some quick strikes and some big plays with Belvidere North throwing out, you know, a couple passes there, a little surprise, and then Warren having that nice little keeper there. So been a pretty good, 13-10, been a really good first half, and both teams are playing to the level we kind of expected with where they're at in the conference standings.
Yeah, and you mentioned conference standings, and you apologize for some technical difficulties at the beginning of the broadcast here this evening, but we want to mention a couple of the other teams. You know, we have Boylan, who we saw them a few weeks ago here at this stadium with their only loss to Belvidere North. They are currently sitting 5-1, as we saw them beat Hononegah last week in a 33-13 victory, a very impressive display by their defense and offense. They are currently home tonight versus Harlem. We'll give you a score as soon as we can. Next week, they face Guilford, an upstart Guilford squad, and then they wrap up the week against Freeport. So, they're obviously going to be in the playoffs. They have 5 victories that will get you into the playoffs in the NIC-10. Harlem, one of the other usual suspects, they are 4-2. We just mentioned they are at Boylan here tonight. Very difficult game. They return home next week to face Belvidere North. Pending the result of this game, that's probably where we'll be next week to see if Belvidere North can clinch a conference championship. And then 2 weeks from now, they will be at Belvidere. And then outside of those two teams, Boylan, Harlem, Belvidere North, and Hononegah, those are kind of your usual suspects in the NIC-10. But I do want to give a special shout-out to Guilford. A great season for them. They finished 2-7 last year. They're 5-1 as we speak, facing East here tonight. That does look like a winnable game for them. But they go on the road next week to face Boylan, and then they wrap up their season at home versus this Belvidere North squad. So a very impressive display by their team this season. They're going to be in the playoffs again with those 5 wins. I would think that they are going to be able to handle their business against East and get 6 wins, which is going to be their most in the season in around 5-10 years for that Viking squad.
Yeah, doing the Guilford Harlem game a couple weeks ago. Loved their bounce attack. Jones, the running back, ran hard. I mean, he was downfield all night. And then Skylar Wolf, the quarterback, dual threat guy there too, made some big plays, not only with his arm but with his feet as well. And then defensively kind of limited Harlem skill guys from getting outside and making big plays. So what a great season, great turnaround for Guilford. 100% agree with you there.
Yeah, and with their schedule, they still do have an opportunity to potentially win a conference championship. Now it'll take some key losses and wins here by some teams that, in games that you probably wouldn't expect them to drop. But, the option is still on the table. And if they can take care of business against Boylan and Belvidere North, you're not going to have any undefeated teams in the conference. And, it looks like we might have some type of crazy tiebreakers if Belvidere North drops a single game. As it stands, they are undefeated right now, the only undefeated team in the conference. They are currently leading here at halftime. Before we go to break, we wanted to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit, which is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Visit them online at screwcitycrossfit.com. to schedule your visit today. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So we will be back shortly. There's still around 12 minutes to go before half and the 5-minute warm-up period for the players. We'll be live with you a few minutes before the kickoff to give you a preview of the second half as well as to update you on the scores around the conference. I want to thank you again for joining us here on Clutch Sports Media 815's inaugural video broadcast here tonight. I am Trevor Larson alongside my partner Luke Weber. So we'll be back with you in just a few short minutes. Stick with us as we move into the second half of this exciting football game.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Clutch Sports Media. We're here at Milt Brown Stadium in Belvidere as we are watching the 6-0 Belvidere North Blue Thunder square off against the 5-1 Hononegah Indians. I am Trevor Larson alongside my partner Luke Weber for this evening. I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit studio. Find them online at screwcitycrossfit.com and schedule your visit today. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So, Luke, we are watching the teams out on the field going through their second half warm-ups. We've seen some exciting football here in that last quarter. You know, there's only one touchdown in the first, but I think we are in line for a very exciting second half of football here tonight.
Yeah, me too. I think, you know, once we get going here, Hononegah getting the ball, seeing the success they had on their two other, last three drives with the field goal and the touchdown, kind of seeing the mismatches they have out on the outside with their skill guys. I like to kind of keep that going. If I was them, keeping the quarterback rolling out, giving him that space. Warren's doing a great job of making plays with his feet as well. I think that's kind of been their success, is kind of having that quick, option there with a big, huge touchdown play to respond after a North touchdown. Offensively there, that's kind of, I would like to see them kind of come out in the third quarter here, get those skill guys out in the open and make plays.
Yes, indeed. And, I think this third quarter will be very key, especially, the first 3 or 4 minutes. It's a very cold night tonight. It's probably below 40 as we speak right now, maybe getting close to 35, freezing overnight. That's what they're saying on the Weather Channel, of course. So, you played a full half of football. You got all hyped up. Some of these guys are sweating, even as the temperature has dropped considerably. Now you've had 20, 25 minutes to sit down. You get a little cold. Your fingers get a little stiff. So, we'll see what team can be a little bit more fundamentally sound. I think that kind of benefits Belvidere North. They don't try a lot of over-the-top plays. Hononegah does like to do a little bit more work in the passing game, which is always a little bit tougher to do on these chilly evenings.
Yeah, this is definitely, weather-wise, I would say a North huge advantage. Like you said, they are ground and pound, offensive attack. And I just think defensively they made a couple of nice stops. Hononegah's kind of hurt themselves with early penalties. First play of the game for them. Offensively, they had a legal procedure, and then the last drive there before they punted and North ended the half, they had a block in the back that kind of derailed their stuff to get going there on offensive end. So we see what kind of defensive here. North getting ready to kick off. They've kind of played that pooch kick game here, keeping away from Huey and trying to keep him out of a big return. So be interesting to see what kind of style they come out with the kickoff here.
Yeah, we'll see if Belvidere North has gone a little bit away from their up the gut style of running. From my perspective, watching up here from the broadcast booth, looked like Hononegah was able to contain those up back runs, some of those quarterback runs, and Belvidere North has not really tried too much to the outside. I think that can probably be attributed to the weather conditions here. Again, your fingers really do get quite stiff whenever you're in this kind of weather and you've sat down for 20, 25 minutes, especially at halftime, or even coming onto the field after a defensive stop. So they're playing a little bit more conservative, I think, than we saw outside of those two pass plays than they did against Boylan. Of course, Boylan, one of the best teams in the conference, so if you're going to beat them, you really do have to play aggressively. Obviously, Hononegah also an outstanding squad here tonight, but they've definitely been a little bit more conservative with the conditions and some of the personnel that they've run out there. So we are getting set for the kickoff. Hononegah back inside their formation. Huey standing at the 10-yard line. Belvidere North breaking the kickoff huddle, and they are ready to send this ball away from the 40-yard line. Alan Perez, the kickoff specialist. He is the kicker, of course, that we saw make that big-time 43-yard kick a few weeks back to seal the victory against Boylan here at this stadium. Kick is away, and it is going to be fielded at the 12-yard line by the returner on the right side of the formation. That looked like it is number 28, Preston Ross. He's going to get out to around the 30-yard line, set up Hononegah with decent field position for their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, so here we go again on the kickoff there. I didn't notice again Huey was not in the backfield for the kickoff there, but he is on the field here for the offense as they start the next possession here. So as they get going here, we see if they kind of shy away from the passing attack a little bit. kind of keeping that run option. They've had a little screenplay that was huge for them. But I kind of like, again, stay on schedule here. Get a big play to start on first down. Have success on that. It will lead to more success down the field here.
Yeah, their best plays that I have come when Cole Warren has used his legs to make plays. Of course, he had that touchdown. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, and that looks like it is going to be number 26, I believe, on the carry. We'll wait to hear the PA announcer to confirm that. But he's going to get 8 yards on the carry, set up a second and short, second and 2. Number 36, Eston Fitcher, on the carry. Excuse me, I want to make sure we give him his proper credit. Of course, he was the guy that we called plenty last week, the primary back. So Hononegah working quickly this time. Warren back in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands it off once again, this time to 26. That is Cody Nyber, and he is going to get a second wind and going to gain 5 yards on the carry up to around the 44-yard line.
What a great extra effort there, right? He was initially short of the first down, makes a guy miss, breaks through a couple tackles. On the play sheet, it only looks like 4 or 5 yards, but it gets a first down. Huge extra effort there for his team, getting that extra play there.
And correction, that was Fitcher once again. This time, Warren is going to take the snap, hands it off to the running back on his left flank, picks up around 4 yards on the carry, so another nice run that time. And it's going to give a second and 6. That was Luke Poppy on the run. And I apologize for the number correction. It looks like Eston Fitcher is listed as 36, but he might be wearing 26 down on the field. We'll get a confirmation on that as soon as we can. So Hononegah back out in offense, takes a snap once again. This time it's Fitcher out to the left. He's got a lane up to the left sideline. One man to beat there, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 27-yard line. So a nice run that time by Eston Fitcher. Give him around 35 yards on that carry. Going to be a first down inside Belvidere North red zone. Another nice play by this Hononegah offense here in the second half.
Yeah, first 3-4 plays of the drive, inside. Then we get one on the outside. He breaks one open there for a huge gain. A little bit of different options here for Hononegah as they started the third quarter.
So once again, a handoff to this time. It is Poppy, number 24 on the carry. He's going to gain a nice 6 yards on that first down carry inside the red zone that time. I apologize. It looked like they were in the red zone from our perspective. It looks like he was pushed out a few yards shy on that last run. Either way, now the Indians are in the red zone on the 16, second and 3 as we approach 10 minutes to go here in this third quarter.
The success they've had running the ball here on the start of the third quarter here is going to lead to a play action here at some point.
Warren takes the snap.
It may not be now, but later on the drive. Sorry, Charlie.
No problem. And this time it's going to be another handoff. Hononegah sticking with a run here on this opening drive of the second half. Poppy on the carry once again, and they are going to give him enough for another Hononegah first down.
Staying ahead of schedule, and that's what they've done here. Now they got a great chance to get, goal to goal here. They got a first down opportunity still, but great start to the third quarter.
Warren takes the snap this time. He fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself. Give him 3 yards on the carry inside the 10-yard line. Still enough room to pick up a first down, the first down marker at the 2-yard line. So your playbook is wide open here as we are at 2nd and 7 on the 9-yard line.
Second down, 2nd and 7.
Warren in the shotgun. He's got Huey down to the near side, very near the near hash. Haven't seen a pass play this drive. We'll see if they pull one out here. Indeed they do. Warren going to the left, good pressure, and he's going to be forced to throw the ball away. Good pursuit that time by the right defensive end, getting into Warren's face, forcing that ball to be thrown away.
So they went to the play action.
For a first down, 5 yards on the carry. Fort once again on the carry.
Fort been the workhorse all night for North. Nothing changing there. Again, coming out and getting those, kind of fullback dives, those front, the front rusher dives, just going to set them up for that one time. They're going to get that Bordolino roaming on the outside and making a play. So, again, front attacks, Hononegah's interior linemen got to be able to pinch down and kind of limit those to maybe a no gain or 1 or 2 yards.
So North back out on offense. Motion man to the top. This time that's 35. Gillenswan takes it. He's going to pitch it to number 35 who came across in motion. Good tackle, and the ball is going to be loose, and it's going to be recovered by Hononegah. That time number 35 had a good space, gained 8 yards, but the ball came loose. We'll see. Yes, indeed, they are going to give the ball to Hononegah. Thought the ball might have popped out as he hit the ground. No review, of course, here in high school football, and the Indians are going to take over in great field position on the 44 inside Belvidere North territory.
That's how you change the game there, right? It looked like a great play for North, getting out in open space. Great hit. Pick the fumble up here. Now Hononegah, again, coming off their missed field goal, but had success. Get a quick turnover and get the ball back to start their second drive of the second half.
So Hononegah has everybody in tight, 2 receivers on either side. Number 2, Warren, takes the handoff to number 36. Once again, that is Fitcher, and looking to see big hit that time by number 1 for Belvidere North. Charlie Lenhart, called his name a few times, first time tonight on defense, but a big-time hit that time by Lenhart.
Big-time hit, set the tone. Fans loved it. Student section got into it. Great start there for the North defense, limiting that carry there, and now able to kind of maybe send some pressure from the linebackers to kind of put a little stop here on second down.
Same formation for Hononegah. Warren takes a snap, pitches it across to Scaduto. Scaduto out to the left, and he's going to pick up enough yardage for a first down, give him 12 yards on the carry out to the 30. So Hononegah once again with another nice play to pick up another first down here in the second half.
Inside-out game so far in the second half. Big plays available for Hononegah. Again, putting the pressure on North's secondary to make open field tackles.
So Hononegah going quickly, sticking in that same formation. Warren takes the snap, hands it off once again out to the right side. Number 34 this time, it looks like from our perspective. Number 24, Luke Poppy on the carry. Nice run to the outside, picks up 5 yards on 1st and 10. On to the 25-yard line, just outside of the red zone for Hononegah.
Balanced attack here too. A lot of guys getting carries here. Not being one-dimensional has made their offense very productive here in the second half.
Hononegah sticking in this same formation as they have been this time. Handoff once again to Poppy up the middle. He's going to gain 6 yards on that carry, and that's going to bring up yet another Hononegah first down. They did have that missed field goal just a moment ago, but they have really worked well here on offense with that rushing attack in this third quarter.
Keeping the pressure on with the rush attack, keeping that clock moving as well. Again, want to be able to put one in the end zone here, though. Kind of want to get rid of these field goal attempts with everything kind of going on here.
This time hands it off to Fitcher to the left side, and another good run on first down for the Indian offense. Give him 6 on a carry. Eston Fitcher with another nice run.
5-6 yards a pop here for Hononegah. North linemen got to be able to get off those blocks and kind of be able to put a stop to these long, first down plays here for Hononegah.
Indeed. Motion man this time is number 1, but take the snap, pitch it to Huey. He's going to throw it to the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown for Hononegah. Number 17 on the reception. That's Braden Berg on the trick play reverse. Warren pitched it to Huey to the backside. Huey rolled out to the right, threw it into the end zone to Braden Berg, and that is going to put Hononegah on top, 16-13, extra point yet to come.
Creativity at its best there, right? Get your skilled guy out who can do different things for you, keeping guys on the roll there. What a great play call. What a great play. I love the response by Hononegah here in the third quarter.
Hononegah lined up in the extra point formation. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is a good one. And this is going to give the Hononegah Indians a 17-13 lead just under halfway in the third quarter, 5.5 minutes here to play. So after a turnover by the Belvidere North offense, as the running back put the ball on the ground, Hononegah able to take advantage, drive down the field pretty much with little resistance and punch the ball in for 6 on the reverse pass by the playmaker Huey to Berg.
Here's where North's coming back here with, first time trailing tonight. How do they respond with, again, their rushing attack is going to be the answer. We know that. But, again, are they going to be able to get their skill guys a little bit more on the outside, try to have a big play here on this drive. Ford's been doing a great job first and second down, but I thought the Hononegah defensive linemen set the tone on that last drive before the fumble. But, again, had the ability to make a big play and then put it on the turf. But it'll be interesting to see here what response the North, offensive has. And it may be a long drive, which may kind of be their MO all season. So we'll see how they kind of extend this offensive possession.
Both teams ready for the kickoff. Hononegah kicks the ball away on the 40 down to around the 10-yard line. It's going to be fielded there by 23 on the far sideline. Moving up to the middle of the field, he's going to get around to the 23. So a nice return that time by number 23, I believe. That was Eric Roman once again on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 on the 24-yard line for Belvidere North. I'm sure the coaches this time are really preaching ball control. You can't really afford to give the ball away at this juncture. So Belvidere North gets the play call in from the sideline, back out to the line of scrimmage. Gillen Swan goes under center. 2 wingbacks, 2 tight ends, 1 up back. Number 17 in motion. Gillen Swan takes a snap, and he is going to keep it this time. Give him a yard on the carry. Doesn't go down to the ground. He wants to fight for all those extra yardage, but only 1 yard. Another nice play by the defensive front for Hononegah. Brings up a 2nd and 9. Crowd and cheerleaders making plenty of noise here as the student section decked out in pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Always good to see a good charitable cause, especially when your students can really get into it, as the Belvidere North crowd has done here this evening. Gillen Swan back under center at the 25-yard line. Takes a snap. He's going to fake the handoff to the up back. Counters back to the right. Give him 4 yards on the carry out to the 30-yard line. Picks up 4 on the nice play design, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a fake, kind of a pitch, fake read there, and then a keeper on the outside. But I like the look there. And I like Gillen Swan's athleticism there. Might have been a broken play. I'm not sure on that, but able to keep it alive and be able to get them to 3rd and manageable here.
So Hononegah's crowd making plenty of noise. They have a full visitor section here at Milt Brown Stadium. Gillen Swan takes the snap. He hands it to the up back, and he's going to get 7 yards on a carry. Big-time play by the Belvidere North offense. It's going to bring up a 1st down for the Blue Thunder.
That's what you like to see. 3rd and short, be able to continue the drive. You don't want to send your punt team out there after a touchdown by Hononegah. So great play call, great execution by North's offensive lineman there, getting to be able to push that through.
That was number 10, Trent Dismore, on the carry that time, picking up the 1st down out to the 39. So Gillen Swan takes a snap. He's going to hand it to the up back once again. Same play as we just saw a moment ago. Give him 4 yards on the carry. Dismore once again with 4 yards on the 1st down carry.
Dismore will pick up 5 with the carry. Ball now on the 44, 2nd down.
2nd and 6 on the 44-yard line for Belvidere North. Just shy of midfield, looking to respond after Hononegah just scored a touchdown a few minutes ago here in this ball game. Motion man up top this time. Gillen Swan takes the ball, pitches out wide to number 23, and he is going to be tackled. A nice play that time by Isaiah Huey. We've called his name on offense a few times. That time a nice play by Huey on defense.
Yeah, Huey, again, one-on-one tackles there, making the play, making it, yes, North has 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 here, manageable 3rd down, but again, that one-on-one tackle can kind of make or break being in a huge play or having a 3rd down. That was a great open field tackle there by Huey.
That was Eric Roman on the carry. We've called his name quite a bit tonight. He scored both touchdowns for Belvidere North, but also had the fumble, so very involved in the play. Not quite into the end zone. It's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 1-yard line, or 2nd and goal, excuse me.
Nose of the ball, right to the line. Hey, let's give another round of applause.
North breaks the huddle. They are down at the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal. Gillen Swan takes the snap. He's going to hand it to the up back, waiting for the official signal. No signal yet. Looks like he's going to be marked just shy of the goal line. Yes, indeed. Looks like Gillen Swan tripped. So yes, they are going to mark him short. So 3rd and about ½ inch on this 3rd and goal. Everybody tight. Gillen Swan takes a snap. Once again, he's in this time. They're going to give him 6. Yes, they will. Another touchdown rush for Maddox Gillen Swan, his 2nd of the ball game. That's going to put Belvidere North back.
He plays hard and he runs hard. Exciting stuff on their end, and great drive to hit the lead back.
Looks like there was a false start on that last extra point attempt. The snap was fumbled, but the whistle blew beforehand. So we want to apologize for any technical issues that we are experiencing this evening. We might have cut out a few times here or there. The weather is certainly a factor here for the football teams with the batteries. You know, those batteries don't always charge when it's this cold out. Anyways, the kick is up, and it is good for Belvidere North. They take a 3-point lead as we are 1 minute into this fourth quarter. Belvidere North on top 20, Hononegah 17. A great response that time by the Blue Thunder offense. While we have a break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit gym. Visit them online today at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So, Luke, after Belvidere North has retaken the lead here in the fourth quarter, you know, your Hononegah had some good success in the second quarter, not so much in the third quarter. What do you think that they can do to kind of get themselves back in this game and try to retake the lead as we approach the end of this game?
Yeah, I think they don't think change anything right now, right? Their rushing attack has been full steam ahead in the last drive. They kind of averaged about 3-4 yards a pop, and then had a couple big plays there. So I think offensively, I would stick to the running game, and then that's going to be able to open up that kind of rollout, that play action for Warren that they have a couple success plays on. Defensively, though, I'd like to see North maybe bring a little more pressure, right? Run blitz. It's not necessarily a blitz to get the quarterback, but I like to maybe get some odd matchups for the linemen up front on north side as they start off this possession. But yeah, Hononegah offensively, keep the ball on the ground, keep doing what you're doing, and have success in this drive here.
Yeah, we definitely saw quite a bit of success on the ground last drive for the Hononegah offense. They stuck to the ground game pretty much exclusively that last drive before they tried that reverse pass from Huey to Berg that resulted in the touchdown, and Belvidere North then went and responded. So special teams units ready to go as Huey is back deep at the 5-yard line, flanked on his right and left. This time another pooch kick for Hononegah, and the ball is almost recovered this time by Nico Bertolino. As it stands, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Again, they avoid the penalty, too, with it being touch and play. But I like the strategy a little bit there by North. Again, keeping the skill positions out without the ball on the return and actually having a chance to get the ball back there. So I like the strategy, and it almost executed for them and then had success with it. Yeah,
maybe a bit of miscommunication there that time by the Hononegah return team. Anyway, Warren takes a snap. He's going to hand it to the near side this time. That is going to be number 24 on the carry. It is Luke Poppy to the near side. He's going to pick up 5 yards on 1st down. So another good running play this time by the Indian offense. We saw a lot of that last drive, so we'll see if that can continue. Walking back up to the line of scrimmage, Warren taking in the shotgun. He's got motion that time to throw the Belvidere North defense. Good motion that time to fool the Belvidere North defense, able to pick up a 1st down by Cole Warren that time. So same formation as we've seen plenty of times here in the second half by Warren. This time he's going to hand the ball off to Eichel up to the top, and he's going to pick up 5 yards on the 1st down. Excuse me, not Eichel. That is Eston Fitcher on the carry. So yet another good run on 1st down.
Yeah, very good rushing attack here. Hononegah's offensive line has set the tone in the second half. And as you brought up coming out of the halftime with the cold weather here, Belvidere North's defense kind of been on their heels here throughout the whole second half so far. Maybe got to again, I like to kind of bring some pressure, try to get a swing here in the momentum on the defensive side because Hononegah's been running that ball at will, since the second half started.
This time, Warren takes a snap. Huey in motion, pitches it out wide to the right, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Belvidere North able to sniff that one out before that play even started.
Good 3-4 guys there were pursuing the ball. Not a one-on-one tackle there by North's, second line of defense with the linebackers. They were able to kind of pursue that and make a great play to make it 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 7 at the 44-yard line, still inside Hononegah territory for Hononegah. 6 yards shy of the midfield. Warren in the shotgun, takes a snap. He's going to hand the ball off up the middle. That is number 36, Eston Fitcher, once again on the carry. We'll give him 5 yards on the carry. And to me, Luke, that signifies to me at least that Hononegah was thinking this is going to be a 4-down territory no matter what.
Positive gain there on 3rd down. You're going to set it up here. Kind of in that same position that Belvidere North was just at. Around midfield here. Do you try to punt it and hope to get it back? I like the, the play call here to go for it.
So Warren takes a snap. He's going to hand the ball off to the right side, and Belvidere North is going to come up with a big stop. Only 2 yards on the carry. He needed 4. He got 2. That might have been the play that Belvidere North has been looking for to really take control of this game. So it's going to be a turnover on downs for the Hononegah offense. Belvidere North taking over at around midfield. Big-time play that time once again by this defensive front that we've seen make plenty of big-time plays here this evening.
Yeah, defensive line stepped up, took those blocks on, held up the blocks, allowed the linebackers to pursue, 2-3 guys there to make a great play. So now you're at midfield again. You can kind of put the game to bed here with a nice long drive if you're Belvidere North.
So everybody in tight. Once again, 2 tight ends, 3 running backs for the Belvidere North offense. Gillen Swan under center takes the snap. He's going to hand the ball off to the up back. No, he's going to pull it out, and he's going to take it. And this is a nice pursuit by Isaiah Huey on the edge. He's able to make a nice open field tackle, a leg tackle that time on Gillen Swan.
No, here's where Hononegah, again, you kind of want to make this a quick possession. As North isn't in a hurry to get to the line of scrimmage, they're going to be running 20, 25 seconds off the play clock before they snap the next play here. So Hononegah is going to start bringing the pressure a little bit. And, again, that's kind of where maybe North kind of gets that sweep or maybe another pass as we keep going here. But, again, Hononegah, you got to kind of step up and make a big play for you.
Yeah, we've seen them be burned by the big passing play a few times here tonight. If you're Belvidere North, you are a running team, but you want to make sure that you contain to the backside, can't allow any big plays if you're Hononegah's defense. Belvidere North offense back to the line of scrimmage, 23 in motion to the top. This time Gillen Swan's going to take it, hand it to the up back. Another nice play by this defensive line, stopped for no loss, and this is going to bring up a 3rd and 10 at midfield for Belvidere North. If you're Hononegah's center with 2 tight ends, this time Gillen Swan takes a snap, hands it to 17 on the far edge. That's Bertolino. He's breaking free. He's up the middle. He's down 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Belvidere North. Nico Bertolino took the short handoff from Gillen Swan, found a crease up the middle. He goes 50 yards for the touchdown. Going to put Belvidere North up 2 scores, 26-17. Point after touchdown still to come, but another big-time play for this Belvidere North offense, and that might have been the play that's going to seal this ball game. Still plenty of time left, but a 10-point lead at this juncture with how your defense has been playing is a very tough lead to overcome. Kick is up, and it is good once again. So Belvidere North does take a 10-point lead after the big run play by the big explosive playmaker, Nico Bertolino. He's made plenty of plays here this evening, and now down 10 points. If you're Hononegah, Luke, this is a very tough position to be for the Indians.
Yeah, so North comes out, grind all night, and then bam, hit you with big plays. And that's kind of been their MO all season. We're going to run the ball. We're going to attack your interior lineman all game and then put your corners in one-on-one positions. And Bertolino just made a guy miss, and then it takes him to the house. A great player. Had fun watching him a couple times this year, and excited to see the end of the season here. Now Hononegah has kind of flipped their mentality that's been working all half. Is now they're going to put the ball up in the air a little bit here, down 10. With, again, because of North's style, you're going to want to make this a quick score because if North gets the ball back, you might not get it back the rest of the game. So big drive here, obviously, for Hononegah and the way they have to do things. I see Warren kind of getting more out in the open with that pass read option type look. But definitely here, maybe with another type of pooch kick. The Hononegah's special team return team here needs to kind of pay attention at the last drive. But big drive here for Warren and his teammates here coming out for Hononegah.
Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen too many big-time passing plays here this half for the Hononegah offense. We'll see if they can flip the script and get some big passing plays down the field, try to get this ball in the end zone and make a game of it. Kick is away, and it, again, is another pooch kick. Fair catch for number 1 this time, but he muffs the kickoff, and it's going to be recovered by number 5 for Belvidere North. That's Gabriel Lang, the Belvidere North. We'll see what they can do on offense on this drive.
Now, we said earlier about, punt, return team making plays. The field goal block team makes a play, and now the kickoff return team makes another play. North, just a 3 special area team, and they're fun. They're fun to watch, and that was another great play, as a pooch kick, put a little pressure on that middle guy to make a play, and then to return it here. North, again, in great spot here to get the 7-0 and pursue that conference championship.
So they are once again back in the same formation as they have been using this whole half with 2 tight ends and 3 running backs. Gillen Swan waiting for the snap. Number 17, once again, Bertolino on the motion. This time, Gillen Swan not going to hand the ball off. He's going to take it himself, going to gain about 2.5 yards out to the 35. Clock is ticking for Hononegah. They've got to get a stop here on this set of downs. Maybe the next set of downs, but if you don't get a stop here, this is going to be a very tough game for the Indians to get back into it and try to pull off this upset here on the road. So North's offense back out to the line of scrimmage again. They've been sticking with this formation the entire second half with 2 tight ends, getting those extra blockers down on the line of scrimmage. Gillen Swan watching the clock, making sure he ticks off as many seconds as he can. Getting ready for the snap now. 23 in motion. Gillen Swan takes the ball. This time he's going to hand the ball off to the outback. That is going to be Dismore on the carry. Trent Dismore, the sophomore, one of the young players on Belvidere North. You know, we've called a couple of freshmen names here tonight. The sophomore also making some contributions on offense for the Belvidere North Blue Thunder offense. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 on the 31-yard line inside Hononegah territory.
And try to create a turnover. But I believe North is looking here, you know, if they're short, I feel like they're going to run another play here.
This time, Gillen Swan takes a snap. He is wrapped up in the backfield, but able to spin out of it. And a very athletic play for Gillen Swan to save the tackle for loss. And actually, he's going to even gain a yard on that play. A very athletic play by Gillen Swan sets him up with a 4th and very short.
You know, again, makes a guy miss. I do love it playing this guy, watching him, because he just gives so much. He's not, you know, I don't know, 5'10" maybe at the tallest, you know, and he's out there taking on bigger guys the entire game. He gets his guys behind him. So what a leader at the quarterback position. I just love the energy he brings to his team.
Yeah, listed at 5'8", actually, 155. So he is one of the smaller players on offense for Belvidere North. They got a lot of bigger guys on the line. A couple of their upbacks are also quite sizable for running backs here in the league. There's going to be a timeout for Belvidere North. Looks like there might have been an issue with the personnel, possibly a missed play call. So a bit of a mistake this time for Belvidere North as they are forced to stop the clock. As we have a break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit gym. Visit them online at screwcitycrossfit.com. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So here we are, 27-17, Belvidere North leading Hononegah here at Milt Brown Stadium. Belvidere North looking to go to 7-0 on the season. This loss would drop Hononegah to 5-2. We are just under 4.5 minutes left to go with a 10-point lead. And Luke, you know, it's been a real show of force for this Belvidere North offense here in the second half. They've really taken control of this game, and they are putting themselves in a position to come out on top.
Yeah, they have been the attacker, and they're their way of attacking. You know, and they're looking at 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. They had a great play, right? They're not trying to fool you. They are who they are, and I love that mentality of showing up and saying, hey, we're going to put helmet to helmet and do what we do. And then when they've taken their chances, they've been huge, right? They've ran 3 passes, all have been successful for big plays. A couple of jet sweeps there for Bertolino has been, huge for them as well. So North is what they are, and they are putting it up and saying, hey, try to be better than us in what we do, and so far we haven't seen that this year. And they're doing it again tonight, looking to go to 7-0.
Yeah, there is a reason they are undefeated. It's those big uglies up front, I'll tell you what. So Gillen Swan back under center, about a yard to go. He's going to take the snap, hands it off to Bertolino, and he is out to the left. He's going to gain 6 yards and a first down for the Belvidere North Blue Thunder offense. That is going to almost put the game out of reach. That's going to be very tough for Hononegah to come back from this deficit at this juncture with how well the North offense has been working here in this fourth quarter.
Now if you're Hononegah, you got to make a big play. You got to limit, obviously, a first down opportunity here. But then the timeout's going to start coming here. Probably as soon as first down's over here, as long as it's not another first down, I wouldn't be surprised if they started taking their timeouts to try to get the ball back with any time left to see what, possibly cutting it back into the game here. But, again, North's going to run the clock down here before the next snap for the next play.
Yes, Gillen Swan watching that clock, waiting for the officials to start counting on the play clock before he takes the snap. They're getting ready for the snap here. Gillen Swan takes the ball. He's going to fake the handoff to the up back once again, almost tackled in the end zone, or excuse me, in the backfield once again, but able to use his shiftiness, as we'll call it, and pick up a yard, able to save the tackle for loss that time. Another great play by Maddox Gillenswan. So looking towards the sideline, getting the play call from the coaches, telling him to go and get the play call in. Can't have any personnel or play call issues here at this stage in the game. Don't really want to stop the clock if you're Belvidere North. You want to keep those seconds ticking down as we are approaching 3 minutes left to go in this ball game. Once again, Gillenswan watching the back judge, waiting for him to start his 5-second countdown. Motion man is 23 at the top. Gillenswan takes the snap, hands it to the up back for a 2-yard gain. Dismore on the carry once again. And as you mentioned, looks like Hononegah is going to take their first timeout of the half for the Indians. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
You know, like I said earlier, throwing that pitch in the air, some bad things can happen. I believe he's going to keep it or kind of have that little handoff there up the front. So I think Hononegah is going to continue to, that inside blitz a little bit, try to keep things, to have an opportunity to get the ball back and see what happens. But again, yes, if I'm North, I'm running the ball here. I'm running the ball on 4th down. Running the clock and things like that, and then Hononegah is hoping to make a big play if they get the ball back and maybe an onside kick, things like that. But got to get a stop. You don't get a stop, the game's over. So defensively here, you got to come out and make a play.
So both teams ready to resume play as it is 3rd and 6 on the 19-yard line. Belvidere North inside the Hononegah red zone, looking to put this ball game away with a first down or a touchdown. Gillenswan under center, motion man up top, number 17, Bertolino. He is going to stop his motion, walk back to his original position. We've seen that a few times here this evening. Looking for an audible from the sideline, waiting for some information, and instead we are going to see another timeout, this time from Belvidere North. That is going to be their 2nd of the half. So it looks like they really want to talk over what they want to do. We've seen them have some big plays, a couple different formations. We've seen that kind of jet sweep to Bertolino, that quick inside jet that he scored on the last offensive drive for Belvidere North. We've seen them go with Gillenswan. We've seen them go with the up backs a few times. So we'll see what the offense wants to do. I think they're thinking, hey, let's get this play call in. Let's maybe get 2 play calls in. We want to make sure we have the right call for our offense so we can pick up this first down and get out of here with a victory.
Now, one thing, Trevor, I'm just interested in is Hononegah just took a –
he's going to hand it off to Bertolino. That play that they scored on last drive, same play that time, the short handoff kind of jet sweep action to the wide back. And Hononegah is going to stop him about 2 yards shy of the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and long 2, maybe 4th and 3. Hononegah taking their 2nd timeout of the half. They really want to talk over what they're going to do on this crucial 4th and 3 inside Hononegah territory. See if they can get a stop here and force a field goal, or we'll see if Belvidere North comes out and wants to go for the kill shot, as you were, pick up the first down, get a touchdown. Either way, if you're Hononegah, you've got to get a stop here, get the ball back, and try to go down and score very quickly.
Yeah, so with the stop, the clock's going to stop if they're able to get a stop on 4th down. And having the 1 timeout in your favor, I am curious on why they wouldn't have taken one at their first down, right? It was something I would ask the coach, in my opinion. If he has a good answer, I'm all for it. But this is another, again, I don't coach football, I coach basketball, so we have different strategies and things like that. But I would be interested on why the timeout wasn't taken at the first down. But as we get going here for 4th down, I like the fullback dive. You've had success with it, or the quarterback keeper, just so I know my 2 best players are going to have the ball, and we're not getting crazy here. And if they get a stop, they still have to go, 90, 80-something yards here to try to score and then get a ball back. So those are kind of my options for North. Hononegah, you got to sell out. I think you got to send pretty much everybody here, make a stop, and get the ball back.
So, teams ready to resume play once more. Gillenswan under center, getting ready for the snap. Lineman down, jet sweep once again. No, excuse me, the ball is handed off to the up back. That's Dismore. Looked like, from my perspective, Gillenswan handed the ball off to Bertolino. Instead, a nice play call by the offensive coaching staff. Handed the ball to the up back. And you know what, Luke? I think that might have sealed this ball game away. And, hey, that's why Belvidere North is undefeated right now. They've been able to run the ball so effectively this year. They've said, hey, our guys are better than your guys up front. We're just going to line up. We're going to run the ball right at you, and we're going to win the ball game.
Yeah, they impressed me, Trevor, for the fact that, yes, they had one fumble tonight, a little bit out of character there a little bit, but they don't have penalties on their end when they have the ball. They don't put themselves behind the 8 ball. They don't back themselves up a little bit. So I've been impressed with them all year, and that's why they're 7-0 and leading the conferences. They don't hurt themselves, and then all 3 areas on the football field, they've stepped up and made big plays tonight with the special teams. The defense getting stops when they need it, and then the offense doing what they do with like you said, helmet to helmet, and our linemen are better than yours. So I've always been impressed with North as we continue the season here and get into the playoffs.
So down, Gillen Swan took the snap and handed it off to Dismore. Clock is inside a minute and a half. Does not look like Hononegah is going to take timeouts. No real point to doing so right now. It is 2nd and 8 on the 9-yard line, so there is enough room for a first down if we should ever get to that situation. But the way that this game is going, I do not believe Hononegah's coaching staff will call a timeout. But Gillen Swan takes a snap once again, just hands it off to the fullback. It's going to be 3rd and about 6. One more play here. We'll see if Hononegah is interested in taking a timeout after this play concludes. Maybe they want to see if a miracle can happen. The game's not over yet. It'd be very difficult for Hononegah to get 2 quick scores. They maybe have 10 seconds, so they would have to run the kickoff the kickoff return back for a touchdown, and then they would also have to recover an onside kick. So just so many things that are probably unlikely to happen. We'll see if they call a timeout or if they just let the game clock expire. As it is, Gillen Swan is under center, waiting to take the 3rd and 6 snap, making sure he's using up every single second of clock as he can. Does take the snap, and he is going to once again hand the ball to the up-back down to the 4-yard line. Hononegah will not call the timeout, and Belvidere North is moving up to 7-0 on the season as they take down Hononegah with the final score of 27-17, and they are in the driver's seat for the conference championship. Hononegah falls to 5-2, still very much a good season for them. This is always going to be a tough environment on senior night. Last home game of the season for the Belvidere North Blue Thunder. Still will be in the playoffs, so the season, they still got a lot of work to do here as we move on throughout the next couple of weeks. So, Luke, it was a very good ball game by both sides. I really do think Belvidere North took control in the second half. What did you see out of them that allowed them to kind of take control and really pull out an impressive victory here at home?
They never break character. And as I said, I kind of had said that a couple times before, but they continue to do what they do. Line up. I'm going to keep hitting you in the mouth 1st and 2nd down, and on 3rd down I made, get one of my skill guys on the open there, but they're not changing what they do. And then defensively coming up and making big plays there. After Hononegah got a good 3rd quarter, putting 2, in the end zone there, North came out the next drive, 4th and 3, 4th and 4, came out, pursued, made a great tackle there. North, just all areas of the game, was the better team by the end of the night there. Special teams for them as well, made some big plays, but impressed by Hononegah. 2 weeks left. Try to get to 7-2, help that playoff seed for them. Still be able to get coached and work hard here before the season's over. But 2 good teams, and North just kind of did a little bit more extra to get the win tonight.
So before we head out, we want to take a second. We haven't really done this much this year, but we want to take a second to thank you guys for joining us here this evening on our video broadcast, first one that we've done for Clutch Sports Media, 815 in the Rockford area. And Luke, I'd like to ask your opinion here. Let's go ahead and let's name a player of the game. You've watched these teams go back and forth tonight. Typically the color guy does name a player of the game. So I'd like to hear your opinion on who is the most impactful for the Belvidere North side here this evening.
I got to go with the quarterback. I think Gillen Swan, just the ability to keep drives going with his feet. Tonight I seen him make 3 plays, 3 big passes down to receiver that kept things going. He scored 2 touchdowns. I'm just impressed with him and the effort he gives his offensive side as the leader of the team as a quarterback position. So that's kind of who my MVP of the game would be tonight.
So remaining on the schedule for both these teams, Hononegah will travel to Belvidere next week, and Auburn the following 6 and 1 and 5 respectively. Belvidere North will travel to Harlem and then Guilford these next 2 weeks, 4-2 and 5-1 respectively. So they did take down one of their toughest opponents in the conference. They still have 2 more tests this year, but if they can take both of those games, they will clinch an undefeated season. Maybe it's a little early to start about that, but I do think that they are looking like the conference championship team here in the NIC-10. Before we head off, we want to take a moment to say that tonight's game was presented by Screw City CrossFit. Screw City CrossFit is Rockford's premier CrossFit gym. Find them online at screwcitycrossfit.com and schedule your visit today. Work hard today, live better tomorrow. So for Trevor Larson and Luke, Hononegah falling to 5-2. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to next week where we should have a video broadcast. I do believe we are planning on doing the Belvidere North game once again as they travel to Harlem. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.